Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. We're live tonight peeps, 8 p.m. Join if you can. As always, plenty to talk about. But the number one topic of discussion should be Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. We're 9 days away now from the big rematch. The first fight was without doubt the biggest fight of the year, the most anticipated fight of the year. I think it delivered in everything. The fight delivered, numbers were great. I think this could be the second biggest fight of the year. I'm trying to think what. Oh, no. Beterbiev Bivol for me was the second most anticipated, but this is definitely the third. So it goes Fury Usyk 1 for me, Beterbiev Bivol, and Fury Usyk 2. I can't think of anything else. But look, we'll discuss other stuff as well. The link to the live will be up straight after this video. So if you want me to answer a question, I'd suggest go into the live now, put your question in, and thus it'll be top of the tree. And then I'll answer it. So yeah, 8 p.m. tonight. Join me if you can. All right, let's have a look and see what stuff is going on in the world of boxing. I see the WBC are doing their convention. And look, there's so much to take away. So much good, so much shit. One of the things that I was like, what's this? I saw that Errol Spence was ranked #1 by the WBC. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, seriously, what's going on? And this isn't necessarily a dig at Errol. I'm a big Errol Spence fan. He's entertained us over the years. Fantastic welterweight champion. But Errol hasn't fought since he lost to Terence Crawford, which was what? July? Was it June or July 2023? He hasn't won a fight since the EGOS fight in 2022. He's never fought at 154 pounds. How on earth is he ranked #1? Like, in what logic? I'd understand if there was no Crawford fight and he was the champion and then went up. I get all that stuff, right? But you never fought in the division. You lost your last fight. You're inactive, at best a part-time boxer right now, and you haven't won a fight in 2 years, 2.5 years. How are you ranked #1 by the WBC? That's why some people just don't take these organizations serious, because it's clearly favors being done to promoters and managers, and it's just bullshit, isn't it, really? Martin Bakole, FA Ajagba is a done deal for IBF elimination belt. So they will fight the winner of Dubois Parker. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. I mean, good luck to my Nigerian brother, FA Ajagba, because this is not going to be easy work. I just don't see a way in which he beats Martin Bakole. Martin Bakole is too big, too strong, riding the high right now, can take a punch. Ajagba can punch, but he can take a punch. The thing is, Ajagba won't be able to take Martin Bakole's power and his work rate. That's something that's not really spoken about. Martin Bakole throws punches and bunches, and he works. So, look, good luck to FA Ajagba. Obviously, Bakole will be slightly disappointed. He wanted it to be Zhili Zhang. He wanted it to be Cabial. He wanted it to be Daniel Dubois. But look, it'll be another, I think, good name on the resume for Bakole. Look, I'm already talking as though Bakole's won, because I think he will win, but you never know. This is boxing. You never know. All right, let's have a look and see if there's anything else. Jaime Munguia backs David Benevidez to beat David Morrell. Yeah, I think most people are picking Benevidez. I'm intrigued. Morrell didn't look great in his last fight, which was his debut at 175, I think. That was the LA card, the Riyadh season LA card. Benevidez looked okay against Vosdik. They kind of have been circling each other for a while. As Benevidez has been chasing Canelo, Morrell's been chasing Benevidez. I did say this the other day. I think it is the best fight, I think, the most intriguing fight of 2025 so far. I think the best is Beterbiev Bivol. But this is intriguing because we've already seen Beterbiev Bivol. I have no idea how this one plays out. I did see at this WBC convention, Napa was there. Napa is Chris Eubank Jr.'s manager, or one of his managers, and he was kind of going back and forth with Eddie Hearn as to why we haven't yet, I don't know, got close to seeing Chris Eubank Jr. versus CONOR Benn, now that CONOR Benn is free to fight. And it seemed just to come down to splits here. And it's just so stupid, isn't it? Chris Eubank Jr. wants 55-45. He views himself as the bigger name, the bigger draw. All of those things are probably true. CONOR Benn wants it to be 50-50. Like, what are we doing? Like, just like, if I'm Conor, like if I'm Eddie, I'm saying to Conor, just take 55-45. What is this? Like, you're gonna fight Barrios instead, for nowhere near the same amount of money. I mean, look, I think Barrios is a good fight for CONOR BENN. And by the way, this isn't me. I think Lara versus Eubank's a good fight. Eubank potentially become world champion, ticks that box. I think CONOR BENN Barrios is a good fight. I think CONOR BENN could cause Barrios some problems. Barrios will start as a favourite, but that's a good fight as well. Chance of becoming a welterweight champion. I get all that. I'm just talking about these two and this silly negotiations that's going on. Like, just take 55-45, Conor. Like, or you know what? If you guys can't agree on that, and both of you are so confident, you do a 50-50 split, and the winner has to pay the loser has to pay the winner a percentage of his purse. Like, you do that. Like, why is this fight not happening? Because of egos and pride and who's the bigger draw and loads of nonsense. The fact is, this is a much bigger money fight, whether you guys like it or not. And I know there's some that still do not like it, but it's a much bigger fight than financially than Chris fighting Lara or Conor fighting Barrios. Like, much bigger. Like, I can't even tell you how bigger the numbers are. Incredibly bigger. Like, I would never ever want to see Eubank versus Lara as a pay-per-view on Sky, and I would never ever want to see Ben versus Barrios as a pay-per-view. But I think we can all agree, or maybe disagree, that CONOR BENN versus Chris Eubank Jr. is a pay-per-view fight. Both make money, and it does a stadium over here. Gate receipts would be incredible. Like, it does the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, you know, it does. It's funny how when I speak to even lower than casual boxing fans, but let's just say casual boxing fans, they don't necessarily care about all the things that we care about. Oh, like Conor was banned and this and that. They just want to see them fight. And they're the ones that will fill out the stadium, not us. So the fight's a big, big fight. And if this fight doesn't go ahead because of a 55-45 split, then both of them just need to honestly give their heads a wobble. It'd be so silly. Conor might not like to hear this, but Chris is the bigger name. He is. He's the bigger name of the two. And he's done more in the sport than Conor, like a lot more. Maybe going into the first fight, okay, maybe the first fight was a 50-50 split. I think Chris was desperate to have it. Chris came down on the weight. Chris is like, no, we're not doing that anymore. You messed up, wrongly or rightly, you messed up. So this time round, it's going to be at 160, tick, and I'm going to get a bit more money, tick. And I get that. I do understand it. So look, let's see if this can be ironed out. Again, I think it's very, very silly. Would I want to see this more than I would want to see Eubank versus Lara? Yes. Would I want to see this more than I'd want to see Ben versus Barrios? Yes. And if you are saying no to either of those two things, I think you're lying. Sorry, it's true. I think you're lying. I think don't let your ego and pride get in the way of wanting to see this scrap, because I would want to see it 100 times out of 100. And I think we are going to see it. Like, someone's just going to have to just put a bit of common sense into both here and say, this is just stupid. This is stupid. All right, let's do 50-50 like I agreed. And the loser has to pay the winner a percentage. So if Chris is so confident of winning, he can do that deal. And just on that alone, he'll get his 55-45 split. Just do that. I think so anyway. Sebastian Fundora wants to prove he's number one by fighting Terence Crawford. Sebastian, I've got bad news for you. You're not going to fight Terence Crawford. It's just not going to happen. Terence is literally waiting for one man and one man only, and that man is Canelo Alvarez. Terence won't fight at 154 again. There's not enough. There's no one in that division, and no disrespect to Sebastian Fundora, you ain't that guy to entice Terence Crawford to fight. This isn't. I mean, Jamel Charlo could have been that guy. Errol Spence could have been that guy. There was intrigue, especially considering what Crawford did to Jamel when he was pointing at him after he's beaten up Errol. There was something there. Jamel was considered the number one at 154 pounds. There was something there. Sebastian doesn't have that. Virgil doesn't have that. Erickson Lubin doesn't have that. Boychuk doesn't have that. Terence did one dance at 154 and he was like, you know what, fuck this. Let me just give me the big boy. I think we are going to get to see Crawford versus Canelo. Money talks at the end of the day. Money talks. And Canelo likes his money. If enough money can be put on the table, I think this fight happens. I really do. Even if this fight was outside Riyadh season, so forget Riyadh season for a second, forget Turkey chucking in a load of extra cash, I think this fight would do incredible numbers on pay-per-view. If this was just on a PBC card, I think the gate receipts in Vegas would be insane, touching 20 million. I think it would be that big. And I think pay-per-view wise, I think this goes over 1 million. I really do. I really think this could be the one that goes over 1 million. So you don't even need Turkey's money or influence. I think just the money that a normal fight in America generates would be able to pay both of these guys quite well. But obviously Turkey's extra zeros do play a part in this. Jack Catterall, Arnold Barboza, very close, reveals Eddie Hearn. Yeah, looks like there's going to be some good fights, good matchups made in the UK, which is good for the first quarter. There's a lot of talk about Dalton Smith having a European title fight. Did you see that thing again at the WBC convention when Dalton pretty much had to go in front of the panel and kind of ask or explain as to why he should be ranked in the top 3 or some bullshit? Honestly, I need to go to one of these conventions to see what goes on because I find them fascinating. I think they're crazy, but I find them fascinating. Caroline Dubois installed as WBC champion after Katie Taylor vacates. I hate that. Hate it. I don't know why you just don't make the belt vacant. Caroline is obviously number 1. She's fighting in January. Let her fight for the title. Like, why? Let her just fight for it. And I think she would prefer that. I don't know where her opponent is. Maybe her opponent isn't highly ranked enough. I don't know. But if her opponent is ranked high, top 5, Caroline number 1, let them fight for a vacant title. Why just give her a belt when she's got a fight coming up? Make it make sense. No one likes these email champions. Caroline deserves to have fought for a belt, not just be given a belt. You won't ever feel like a world champion when you've just been elevated to world championship status. You need to go through something to be given it. Go for a fight, win it, get your arm raised, give a belt. This way around is crap. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, make sure you join me tonight, 8 p.m. Should be a fun one. Again, the link will be up in about 25-30 minutes. Get your questions in and let's have a good last live before I head out to Riyadh for the big one. Peace.